one missing. You can smack in the middle. Which really should. Five more minutes, and we're good to go. My house is the first class. You are taxed. I didn't want to see you. I didn't want to say it's okay. We're proud of you. We're proud of you. It is what it is. He didn't think it was coming. You are very disorganized. I need to fix you. So in the press conference, your phones has to be on silent, please.
You can do that, yes.
So please, just put it on silent.
Put it on silent.
Thank you for...
There should be outside this door. Clear, inside or outside? Must close by. When they call them now, can't be out of the hotel.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. It's really great to be here with all of you fine gentlemen and, well, in the press. There are no gentle ladies of the press. Everybody's gentlemen of the press. So thank you so much for coming through. Abdul, could you please come? Just need your help. Yes. Open this. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to start this event. First of all, I have to introduce myself. My name is Babatunde Koiki, for those who don't know me. I work in the media, let me just put it that way. And for those who also don't know me, I also have a background in NFL as well. So for those who don't know me again, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Babatunde Koiki, aka Tuesday Steel, Sex Appeal. You know the real deal. One time for your man, we hit it from behind, make it shine like a gold mine. I'm also the running back that keeps your girlfriend running back. And I'm also the king of the wide receivers, just so you know. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, so welcome once again. This is an absolutely fabulous, fascinating event because it is the start of something absolutely brilliant and something brand new. So the NFL has existed for decades. It is the richest single sporting code in the world, more than anyone else. Last I checked, it was worth $16 billion. Even the English Premier League that all of you follow, all of us follow, is worth a, would I say, paltry 5.3 billion. But it's the NFL, the power that the NFL has globally and to change lives is like nothing the world has ever seen. Now, the thing about the NFL is because they had so much money, they decided to make it an even easier, an easier code for people who want to get into the sport. That's why they created something known as NFL flag. So for those who don't know, flag football is like a smaller, less, intrusive form of football. Basically, it's no contact, and the rules are pretty simple for flag football. There's no contact. All passes must be forward and received beyond the line of scrimmage, and the quarterback cannot make a run without handing off first. So that's pretty much some of the, like a watered down version of some of the rules. But the NFL flag is phenomenal. It is the largest youth flag football league in the US. It's serving youths between the ages of 14 and 17 years all across the US. And it has over 1,600 teams and over 600,000 participants. So you can see it's a mass appeal sport for kids within the ages of 4 and 17. So the NFL flag decided to create something new in Nigeria. That is why we have the Uprise Flag Football League. Not only did they do that, but it was actually the brainchild of a Nigerian, Ositadimma Umenyora. So a lot of you might not know him, but he's a two-time Super Bowl winner. He was in music videos with likes of The Dream. He married a supermodel. Basically, the man has lived the dream. So for those of you who follow music quite closely, I know you know 2 Chainz. Well, in NFL, we call him Mr. 2 Rings. So because he's won 2 Super Bowl rings. So he decided that it was time to bring this great initiative back to his country. And that's why he created the Uprise Flag Football Initiative. And it's incredible what this thing is doing already, because this year, in May this year, the NFL announced that 8 players have been given roster spots for the 2023 NFL season via the league's international pathway program, and 6 of them were actually Nigerians, which is absolutely brilliant. That was in a Child Hotel. Yeah, that's really great. Out of 8 successful tryouts applicants, 6 of them were Nigerians. That's incredible. If you want their names, I can give them to you. Haggai Chisom Ndubushi is with the Broncos. David Ebuka Agoha is with the Raiders. Basil Chijoke Okoye is with the Chargers. Roy Mbateka is with the Bears. Kenneth Odumegu is with the Packers. And Chukwe Buka Godric is with the Chiefs. Now these players, they will be on the team rosters throughout the season. They will be in their training camp, and they will count towards the 90-player limit that each NFL squad has. But they might hopefully make it more likely to the practice squad. So back to what Osi Umenyora did. He created this Uprise Flag Football Initiative, but it wasn't enough. So what did he do? He decided to create a league, and that is why we have the first ever Uprise Flag Football League that has been holding in Nigeria for the last 7 weeks. And I can tell you, it's been absolutely amazing. It's been fantastic. It's high octane. And the thing about flag football is, because there's minimal contact, it's created a version of the sport that is so fast-paced, so quick, so exciting. Let me just roll you a short video so you can have an understanding of exactly what we've been enjoying over the last 7 weeks, and hopefully for many years to come.
Coaches, you guys are so important to us. So it's okay if you want to step away. Don't break your necks. It's okay, you can step away and watch it. We will not have you break your necks. You are too important to us.
Yeah.
Take this one.
round of applause for the two teams that you saw on the screen, the Trumpets and the Niger Lions. Coaches, you can take your seats again. Thank you very much. So, what you just witnessed was basically what flag football is all about. It's basically a version of normal NFL football, American football, but it's designed to keep players safe and create an engaging, fast-paced version of American football without the physical contact. So basically, instead of all the hits that you see, the tackles that you see, the simple rule is when you're tackling, just pull up one of the flags around the waists of the players, and that counts as a tackle. So without further ado, let me just introduce the fine gentlemen that you see right up here. These are some of the most passionate Nigerians I have ever met in my life. So passionate that after one game, after a loss, one of the coaches here, I won't say who, he just walked off the field, walked into his car, and drove home. He didn't want to talk to anybody. Maybe he wanted to talk to Jesus. But I was looking for him. Nobody could find him. Even his players couldn't find him. He was that pissed off about that game. Maybe when he's shaking his head, you might know who it is. Yeah, I ain't saying a damn word about who it is. I don't want somebody giving me a hard knock in the lift. So let me start from my immediate left. He's the coach of the Lagos Tigers, and that you can see is owned by Romeo Okwara, who is a defensive end with the Detroit Lions, and I'm talking about the very passionate Shino Onolapo. I didn't invite home. We were looking for him. I didn't mention his name. Okay, so right beside him is a big man with big impressions and big, I don't know, just big wings, and has a very, very loud voice, and he's incredibly passionate about this sport. And his team pulled off an amazing recovery, taking themselves out from 2 straight losses and going on a brilliant 4-game winning streak. You might want to call him the coach of the season. We don't know yet. We'll have to know after the final game is done and dusted. But Coach Falui, you just want to raise your hand and wave for people. But he's the coach of the Chiefs. Right beside him is one of my favorite people in the world. He's one of the most passionate people about flag football in this country. In fact, he actually went and created his own league. You know, and it was no surprise that when flag football came to Nigeria, he was the man that they looked to, and he is the manager of the Uprise Flag Football League. Now I'd like to call Mr. Banks, Mr. Bimbo Bankole. Okay, so the diminutive man behind him, make no mistake about it, he's a mean coach. Don't get it twisted. He might not be as big as everybody here, but he's a brilliant mind. I mean, he's also led a brilliant team that have also achieved big things in this league as well. He's the coach of the Trumpets, none other than Dabo Green. And my man, all the way down the corner there, mean mugging everybody, but don't get it twisted as well. He's also a great guy, great personality, excellent coach, very passionate, very knowledgeable. He's also the coach of the Niger Lions, who were star favorites to get to the championship game, but somehow I don't know how they dropped the ball, but I'm sure he's thinking of how he's going to change that in the next season. Talk about Kenny Wampo. Kenny, nice to have you there. So without further ado, let me just give the mic to the league manager, Mr. Banks, Bimbo Bankole, to give us just an intro of what has been an amazing season and what the Uprise Flag Football League is all about.
First of all, good morning. Thank you for this wonderful event put together by Mr. Praise and this wonderful team, Tunde and everybody else. Thanks to the press and everyone that's here for this wonderful, wonderful occasion. We wouldn't be here and excited about this without you guys coming to it. So thank you very much. Before I even go into anything about Uprise Flag Football, we appreciate it. We're very thankful and thank you. What is Uprise? Uprise Flag Football League is a very it's a passionate thing, I would say, collectively for all of us here, due to whatever history and past experience with playing American football or ongoing passion of the sport. The gentleman that put this together himself, as Tunde mentioned earlier, Osi Menyor, he's the man of the moment. He is the driving force behind American football in our continent. I'm not just saying Nigeria, in this continent of Africa, because he saw opportunities that some people might have seen in passing or didn't really want to touch. Here we're big on basketball, even soccer or football, or even handball, right? Even volleyball, you see some games, but Osi said to himself, I've been able to do great things with my life, his life, I'm saying, and I want to give people like him, that look like him, talk like him, sound like him, live like him, the opportunity to do great things for not just themselves, but their families as well, through a sport that's completely different from what we know here locally. If you look at the league, the numbers there's over 100 Nigerian-born players that play in the NFL successfully. And I'm not saying mediocre players. These are players that are making people pay for tickets to go watch them play, right? So there's no reason why we can't even build those channels here in Nigeria, help some of the young men here, and eventually the young girls as well, so everybody's clear, to get that opportunity to get there and do exactly the same thing the likes of OC are doing, and many other guys, like the gentleman that you see here on this banners that own the teams that our coaches are managing. But I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm glad to bring this gentleman along as well to be a part of what we're doing with the Uprise Flag Football League. And you see some of the players here. We're glad to be able to have these young boys on this league, in this league, doing beautiful things. Parents as well, guardians as well. So all of this would not be possible without these guys here, without the parents allowing us to coach their boys, and most importantly, without the vision and the drive of Osi Menyor.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for Pinball Banker, who is manager of the Uprise Flag Football League. And for those who don't know, it's not, just so you know, flag football or NFL is not an elite sport. It's for everyone. And these coaches can tell you that some of their players come from the most humble of backgrounds. And in the last few years, and the last few weeks, their lives have changed tremendously. And the thing about sport that all of you in this room know, especially as gentlemen of the press, is that it has the power to change lives, transform lives like nothing else. It can take people from nowhere to somewhere. We all know the stories of grass to grace. I can mention all of them. Giannis Antetokounmpo was right here in Nigeria a few days ago. This is a guy who was stateless, was homeless, was selling stuff in traffic in Athens, Greece. But now we know he's a global superstar. And many of these kids too have the chance to make it to somewhere. I think the minimum pay for being on the roster of any of these teams is what, six figures? I mean, dollars. That's life-changing money. Considering the exchange rate now that is going through the roof. If you pay me $100,000 to climb up these stairs 20 times today, I will gladly do it. So I'm sorry, I just mentioned Romeo Kwara, who's the owner of the Tigers football team. There are three other owners as well. There's Emmanuel Ogba, who is a defensive end with the Miami Dolphins. He's the owner of the Niger Lions. There's David Njoku, who's a tight end with the Cleveland Browns. He's also the owner of the Chiefs. And the only non-Nigerian but equally passionate person who's also team owner as well is Maurice Jones-Drew, who is a running back, just like myself, retired running back, by the way, with the Jaguars, Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay, so let me just continue this by just passing the mic to the coaches, each of the coaches, to just tell us what what they feel about the inaugural season of the Uprise Flag Football League. It's been intense, right from the tryouts all the way to where we are now. We're on the verge of a championship game. But I just like to get their impressions of what has been a really, really fascinating season. Let me start all the way down there with Kenny Wako, coach of the Niger Lions.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming. As far as this season, I think it went well. In general, personally, I'm upset. I'm highly upset, but as far as the league in general, I think we did a pretty good job. I think we had a lot of development. The players developed a lot. I can see over the 8-week, 9-week period that we started, I saw a lot of development. I think we made a lot of pretty good flag football players in this 3-month span. I think the league is going to grow. I think the awareness for the league has increased. I could see that each of my players had probably 3 or 4 friends who wanted to come play. So I think the word is spreading, and I think the future is bright for us.
Thank you very much, Coach Kenny Wako. Coach Dawo Green, your team is going to be playing in the championship game, so you, I'm sure, have plenty to say about that. What has been your impression about the inaugural season of the Uprise Flag Football League?
It has been beyond amazing. I mean, it's one thing to see how far these kids have come and how they've grown in a short period of time. And what we've created is a family outside their family. We've been able to put all these kids from different backgrounds together in the same place to learn, to grow, and to love each other as well. The season has been spectacular. It's also a learning curve for me as well, because this is my first time being a coach. I've been able to learn from this gentleman beside me and use that knowledge to impact on these kids as well, and as much as I have learned over the years to also impact on them. And I think what's great for all of us is just seeing how these kids have grown right from the very first day we saw them, which was at the combine. Right, the players they are now, if you saw them maybe 2 months back, you will not believe they're the same set of players. It has been amazing. We love the journey that they're going through, and hopefully we'll be able to hear from some of them, and you guys will hear that feedback as well.
Okay. If self-belief was a person, it would be this man right here. Because after 2 losses, there's some other people that quit, but this man says, I know what these players are capable of. I know exactly what they can do. And hey, they did it. Coach Fafaluhi, your thoughts on what has been an amazing season, personally and in general?
Good morning, everyone. Dabo said everything. It's been an amazing season. I think the greatest thing for me through this whole process has been able to try and share a little bit of the knowledge I have from playing the sport or being involved with the sport for 20 years, and trying to get them to see it more from a strategic standpoint more than physical. And a lot of these kids have never played the sport before, and you see them taking it up like sponges, the information they're going through, and they ask you questions and you give them feedback, and then they go on the field and they execute that strategy. It's amazing, and it can only get better from here. As you said, we only had up until the first game, we only had 3-4 weeks of practice, and you can see from the first game to the last game how the intensity was between all the teams. At the point in the last game of the season, all teams could have made the playoffs. So that's, not only was it interesting, it was highly competitive, and that's what you want in sports competition.
Okay, thank you very much. Coach Shino, Mr. Shine, I'm sure you also have your thoughts about what was a really great first season.
Good morning, everyone. There's not much I can add as what these other guys have said. From the beginning, from the combine, not much was expected from these kids. It's a new sport. Now, it was for us as coaches to teach them and impact knowledge on what to do, how to do it, how to run routes, and let them, teach them. So for me, with the growth from day one to now for the kids has been amazing. I can't praise them enough. I can't say the coaches have done a phenomenal job. The kids have learned, have listened. Questions on questions we get every day. I mean, I for myself, I get questions asked at all hours. How do I do this? How do I do this? What route do I run on this? Why do we run this route? Those questions keep on coming. To me, those are learning. You want to learn. You want to know what to do on certain things. You want to know the sport. I mean, like what I said right here, it's strategic. I mean, I always tell my kids, like football, hey, it's 30-40% physical. The other percent is mental. It's how you think on the go, what you do. And these kids are adopting that. They are adopting that real well, which is amazing to us. This is what we want to see. This is what we want our kids to know. So I mean, it's going well. I mean, it is phenomenal. And next season, it will blow our mind, literally.
I agree with you. Thank you very much, Coach Shino. So in case you didn't pick that up from what the coaches have said, some of these players prior to this had never played flag football before. They didn't even know what a football felt like. But in just a few weeks, they have become amazing athletes. And it just goes to show you exactly what Nigerians really are. We're athletic, we're powerful, we're brilliant people. So that's no surprise at all. So, gentlemen of the press, I know you have lots of questions that you want to ask the gentlemen, so the floor is open. But I just want to start by asking Coach Bimbo Bankole, who is the league manager. It's been an amazing season. It's been brilliant. We've seen 4 really great teams. Is there a possibility in the near future that we will see an expansion of these teams, of this franchises? We might see as many as what, 12, 16, 20, 32? Can this go nationwide?
I think the fortunate thing we have in this league, and with the goal and the dream of building a very, very round product, is, I'll always say this, is Osi Manura's vision. We're wrapping up season 1. He's already thinking about the next season, which is a beautiful thing, which means that more young boys will get the opportunity to play on more teams going into season 2, which also means you get to see more coaches, more people mentor, lead, and try to change a lot of lives as much as we can, as much as we can touch. And are we going nationwide? That's the goal. The goal is to touch every life in every corner in Nigeria with as many leagues as possible, and even go bigger. I mean, there's nothing wrong with us even taking this outside of Nigeria, because OC is more about the African dream of American football, and these coaches will tell you how successful that can be. So yes, watch out for uprising in a community near you soon. Amen.
Amen. So it's a big man with big dreams. That's Osi Manura. He's thinking beyond Nigeria, thinking possibly on a continental scale. Guys, do you have anything to say? Gentlemen, address questions? Just raise your hands. I'll just acknowledge you. Anyone? Nobody? Going once. My man. Go ahead. Just you might want to stand up and just tell us your name, which medium you represent, and your question.
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Idafi Matues over there. I represent Lagos TV and radio. Now we have 4 teams, and like you said, Bankole, there is the possibility of expansion beyond Nigeria. I want to find out, please, for the teams, what are do you guys just do open trial and recruit, or people can say, oh, I like my son, or my child is, this size, this feet? How do they, become part of this league?
Maybe my last question was from you.
Oh yes, how do they become a part of Uprise Flag Football? We started this one based off of a combine. What is a combine? A combine is an open invitation to potential young athletes that would like to be a part of the league, to just come out and basically showcase their talent based on some fundamental football drills. Now, what the coaches did after the combine is they evaluated the talent they saw, and based on what their ideas and vision of their individual teams would look like, and molded those players to fit those ideas. Now, going into the next season, we'll of course do more combines. Now that we have a community building, we have a lot of interest. Combines will be bigger. Combines will even be in more than one location. We did one location for season 1, so obviously our next combine will touch as many areas as possible within Lagos to attract more young boys that can't come to Ikoyi, which was the initial combine, just to try to tap in as much as possible into season 2. And with the vision of the founder of the league, there's a lot of new inceptions that will come into season 2 that will need us now as a team here go as far as we can into wherever we can into Lagos and get as much talent as possible. But in a nutshell, to join the league, to be a part of it, look us up on Instagram at the Uprise Flag Football. Send us an email on the same handle, the Uprise Flag Football. Look us up on YouTube, exact same handle, the Uprise Flag Football. And let us know you want to be a part of it. We'll send you the directions and the locations for the upcoming combine. Or even, if you know any of these coaches or whatever, you can find, or if you have friends out there that play in the league, the same thing. But the Uprise League is a league for everyone, for sure.
Okay, just to add to what he said, the Uprise Football League is a league for everyone. The biggest misconception people have about American football is that players are giants and hulks like Mr. Fafaluhi here, or even Moses Praise, but that's not the case. They have really small, quick people who also play the sport as well, and they're absolutely brilliant at it. So, any more questions?
Good morning. My name is Sonia Adia. I'm representing Media Services. I have a couple of questions actually. Number one, it has to do with the rule of the sport itself. Earlier on, quickly, and you mentioned about how the defensive players needed to dispossess an attacking player on the flag. Now, the question I'm going to ask has to do with the scoring points. I mean, the scoring format. How do you get your points? Does it count for you when you dispossess or what? I just want to understand that better.
Okay, so how the scoring works is you move down the field and the defensive team has an end zone. It's a goal line, and if you catch the ball or possess the ball through the goal line, it gives you 6 points. And after you do that, you have an opportunity to score 1 or 2 extra points depending on distance. If you choose 1, the ball is lined up on the 5-yard. If you score, you get an additional 1 point. If you choose 2, the ball is lined up at the 10-yard line, and if you score, you get another 2 points. Right? Now, defensively, you can also score by either pulling the quarterback's flags in the end zone, his personal end zone, and that's called a safety. That gives you 2 points. Or if you get an interception, which is you catch an offensive player's, the quarterback's throw, and run it back to the offensive team's end zone, you get another score of 6 points. So that's how you score in this game.
Impressive. Now, let me take the other two. I'm going to take them together. Number one, it has to do with the incentive or motivation. Now, this is a good program. It's something I think is a good project. I think in the years to come, it's going to grow big. But right now, at the moment, what's the incentive or motivation like? When I talk about, I have the clubs in mind now. So when you win the league, is there prize money yet, or what's even the value of the league as it were at this point? And secondly, it goes together because it has to do with the commercial value in terms of commercial support. What kind of support has the All Price Football League garnered from the commercial world, corporate world? What kinds of support and how to support have you guys
I'll answer the first question.
The first incentive is this. While the kids are doing is short their time, some of these kids have opportunity to get to go to the States, to high school in the States, university in the States, to further their education and also to further their skill knowledge, which will actually help them to get to university and hopefully our plan to get into it. Now, for the other incentive, when it comes to the upright, now for the championship game, there's 2 incentives. For the winner gets 5 million. The second place gets 1 million.
So to answer the question about the commercial value, before I go there, let me quickly touch upon the prize money for the league as well. So like Coach Chino said, the first prize, 5 million naira, goes to the winner, and 1 million naira goes to the runner-up as well. Obviously, the trophies and the additional prize that come with that. Now, when we talk about the commercial value of the league itself, I don't know if you guys do, as by guys, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, do like a voting for Man of the Year or Visionary of the Year. If you do that, please, I recommend that you suggest Osim and your name onto that now. I'll tell you why. This man has taken this league and put it on his back. He has done everything for this league out of pocket. He has done it because he believes in the young men that these coaches are coaching today. He has done it because he knows that this will obviously someday in the near future, be a wonderful opportunity for lives that will be changed. So commercial value, the founder and commissioner has done everything and continues to do everything by himself because he believes in it. He believes in the young men and he believes in the coaches, to include the prize money of 5 million naira to the players that the team wins and 1 million to the second place team as well.
Okay, just that's what people said. It's actually true. Oscar Mayer really believes in this league, and there is a urban legend about how he walked into Roger Goodell's office, who's the NFL commissioner, and told him, "Look, either you make this happen, or I'm not leaving." But that's how passionate he feels about that. So, and Oscar's going to be in the country pretty soon, so you can ask him about that, whether that really happened or not.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sunil Utini. I write for Premium Times. I just want to know the dates and where and when the championship game will be taking place. Thank you.
Okay.
the championship game will be taking place Lagos Preparatory School. Ikoyi. Starts at 1 p.m. this Sunday. So the teams that will game the championships are Yellow Trumpets and the Chiefs. Good morning, everyone. I'm a parent. I don't know if I'm authorized to ask. My name is Andrew Amagason. I'm father to Aaron Amagason. From Lagos, Shakira. Okay, I'm from Benin, Edo State. And I would say that I was able to fund my son from the first play to the interest I got. I'm not ahead back then for actual soccer. So I was surprised. Very interesting what you do, okay. But I am very interested in making sure that this goes to where I come from. I can fund my end definitely. But what kind of support I'm going to get? If we just 3-4 players, 5, definitely does have experience, but my end, I can try to do that. It's something that's very interesting to me. It's something that's different, and I think that a lot less people get along from it. So thank you.
First of all, this is kind of partnerships and synergy that you want to build when you go out and create programs like this. Thank you so much to Mr. Anderson, Aaron's dad, a player that we call Shakira, because of the way because of his hips. American football is a sport, and flag football, if you can't use your hips, but Aaron will give you a class on his Shakira dance moves for sure. But we are very happy to hear something like this, and these are the things that you want. I mean, this Lagos here in the near future, based on what he has said. Benin is there as well, and we are more than glad to come out there. And it's the opportunities for everyone, and by everyone I mean any corner we can tap into. OT is driven, these coaches are driven. It's a lot of traveling, but we have to do it because the future is theirs. We're not going to the NFL. We're not going to the NFL. They are the ones that are going to get there, and the only way to do it is when people like us and our visionary guy, Mr. OC, believes and drives and pushes them out there. And thank you for that. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Round of applause for the we have a chief, the only type of chief probably in this room right now, and I'm sure for a fact that she probably be supporting the Chiefs in the final against the Chiefs.
I see what you're doing there, but good morning everyone. Protocols observed. Apologies, we came a bit late for what we caught, and because we're very excited about this flag football. My name is Sosha Pell. I represent Wazobia FM and the Pitching Kingdom. So that is the customers and my customers. 2 questions. One of them is, I see the name. I'm going to put local name because I noticed that we all get affinity to a team when we know that maybe this one is Team Ogaraya or this one is Idon or whatnot. You know, it's always very cool. The second one is, Shinzuke is one of the platforms that I've been doing flag football. And we're able to do it in such an entertaining way. And I'm wondering, are you going to copy their templates? Because we've noticed that the guys who have been copying the Sportainment templates doing pretty well. Sporting Lagos is an example, Remo is an example, we could do SC among others, a major example for regular football. For flag football, are you going to do fan engagement, fan experience? Because I hear the money is for the players, which is cool. Or how do you translate that to my 700,000 at least people when they listen? Because they're depressed and they get the body and they're angry and they can run and they want to be part of it. So how do you get them into it? Just saying. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief. Long live the Chief. I'll answer the first part. Bingo guys the rest. I would say as far as local names, I think we have Niger Lions. So I think we represent Nigeria a little bit, but I think we have the Chiefs too. Okay, fair, yeah. You and Chief, so. But I'll let Bimbo answer the more intricate questions.
To piggyback on what Kenny said in regards to the names he mentioned, which is quite ironic, because if Osi was here, he would actually answer the question right off the top. He already has names in mind, like Igwes, Obas, Sultan, Masai, and Emirs. So those are potential names that we're looking at.
There you go.
So that's a fantastic question. The OC is already 2 steps ahead, already thinking of those names. And on the other side of the a template of Chitsuki, I am Chitsuki. So thank you for being a fan of Chitsuki flag football. But you know, it's been a great passion. When I started Shitsuki, of course with these guys as well. So they've been around from day one. So I'm not here by myself. They've been around from the very first day when we started to do Shitsuki in 2016 and 17. So in regards to borrowing the template, you can say that. I mean, it's the same people, the same faces, and it's more us now giving back to tomorrow's athletes and helping them get there.
Okay, so just so you didn't get that, there is going to be franchise expansions in the future. So there will be more teams, there will be more games, and we'll definitely see more players as well, more engagement.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Olatune Rufai. I work with Students Next. Just a bit of a comment before my question. Big shout out to everyone that is involved. Big shout out to everyone that has made this happen. Because if there's any society that actually needs something like this, it's definitely ours. Now, but just like when you bring anything like this, you know, into a new society, like Nigerian society, the challenge is also always the education part. So my question is, how do you bridge that education gap? On the end of, say, for example, I've seen 4 coaches for 4 teams. So how do you bridge the education gap to say, okay, we're building more coaches? How people learn? How do we produce more coaches that can actually coach other teams? Because I mean, if you want to expand, even in football, we have that challenge in Nigeria as well. So how do you bridge that education gap on that end, say coaches? On the other end, to say educate people that are trying to bring in as audience, educate people that are trying potential parents or potential athletes, because at the end of the day, these people haven't heard about this thing before. How would they become confident to say, okay, yeah, let our child go play? So that education gap, how do you intend to bridge that particular? Thank you.
Okay, you talk about coaches, and also there's also important to talk about referees as well. We also need to also train more referees. Exactly.
The most fortunate thing that we have with the Uprise Flag Football is the backing of NFL Flag. NFL Flag being the parent company that pushes and drives the NFL globally. And what that allows us to do is it allows us to have great conversations on both sides as to how to educate coaches, get coaches through training programs, and hopefully some certification as well. To add to the prowess of Osu Manyora, there's the NFL Academy, which he's very, very involved in. South Africa, who he is the Don of NFL Africa. So with those things in place and with that opportunity that he's able to give back to us, it allows us to have these conversations with the growth and the development of our coaches to where training, classes, certifications will be provided to the coaches, but allow them to get even better with the sport that, as we all know, continues to evolve every year and every season. On the other side of it, with the awareness of the sport generally in Lagos, again, this is one great step here with this conference and some of the great press runs we've been able to do thanks to Mr. Moses and his team. It's allowed Uprise to step out into the world, as you say, or step out into the world and show people where we are, how we exist, what we're trying to do, and most importantly, let them hear from the coaches that will be mentoring, teaching your children how to play the sport and how to play safely as well. And that's the biggest thing, right? Building the confidence with the parents, allow them to come out here and take a look at it. So that is something that will continue to grow. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, obviously. But the more we build the league, the more we build the community, the more we will be out there, be it radio, be it media, be it in person, doing workshops, educating, teaching, and carrying everybody along so no one is left behind.
Thank you very much, people. So you see my hand is capped by NBA. Well, that's basically just showing that Africa is a major part for what we're trying to do. And I can tell, as a matter of fact, what these coaches are doing, you'll be seeing not only Uprise, but also the NFL investing greatly in Nigeria and the Uprise Flag Football League in the near future. We're going to take a short break. I know there's still so many questions. We're going to take a short video break. When we come back, we'll be talking to the 2 coaches who will be in the championship final alongside some of their players. We can also answer as many questions as you want. We'll take a short video break now, and we'll be back.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. That was one of the regular season games between the Tigers and the Chiefs. I'm not sure if that's the game that Mr. Shine was unavailable. But it was really great game. And before we go even further, I just want to give a big shout out to Mr. Banks Bankole, who also serves as match day commentator for all the games. His commentary is absolutely brilliant. It's legendary. If you didn't know anything about the game, just being in the stadium or the venue, just listening to him talk about everything, you will pick up the game in mere minutes. So I just want to give a big shout out to him. It's done brilliantly. Please, a round of applause for this man. Every single weekend. So match days are fun because of this man. Thank you very much. So right now we have, of course, the two coaches who will be in the championship final. Coach Fakalui of the Chiefs, and of course Coach Dabo Green of the Yellow Trumpets. And with them are two of their players. So let me start with the two coaches as well. Let me start with you, Dabo. Really tough season. Really great games. Exciting moments. But through all the odds, your team made it to the final. What is it like, this moment, being in the final of the first ever upright Super Bowl? Because you're on the verge of history. And what would this mean leading your team to victory?
I would say it's a relief to be in the final. And what I mean by that, because we almost lost the game to the Nigeria. We won just 10 seconds at the end of the game. I would say it's amazing. My players have put in work. They practice about 3 times a week. They put in the work and they've improved drastically. Go through a lot of drills to get them to where they are now. And just being in the finals, the game we played on Sunday, it felt like a final to us. Right? It was a do or die. I felt like emotional. I was emotional. I was jumping from left to right. But then just these kids seeing where they're going. Right? Their mind is not just set that, okay, yes, we're at the championship, that's great, but what happens after the championship? Are we playing to just play for just the championship, or are we playing for our future? Right? We have to make them understand that it doesn't end at the championship. It's just a stepping stone, right, to the next level. And I made sure myself and our manager, made sure that we get them to understand what this is all about, what this championship would do for them, what the next level is going to be like. So I would say being in the championships, we love it. We love it so much, and we're really, really grateful to be there.
Okay. Coach Fine, I have to ask you the same question. Your team pulled up an amazing comeback. Two losses followed up by 4 wins in a row. Nobody gave you a chance after those 2 games, but here you are on the verge of history. How does that taste like?
Job's not finished. Still, that four-game winning streak will mean nothing if we don't win the final. So it's a challenge to my guys to summon the same energy that we used when we were 0-2, and summon that same energy and go into this final game knowing that we can execute, and we should execute to the best of our ability. We're going to work through the week to strategize and game plan. It's about getting on the field and executing that game plan to the best of our ability and making adjustments during the game. If we do that, we'll have a pretty good chance.
Okay, so I just have to ask you this follow-up question. It's a big game. It's a final. And you're dealing with kids within the ages of 15 and 20. How do you deal with them not letting that pressure overwhelm them, keeping their head in the game, knowing that it's going to be tough, but we can do this? How do you manage that pressure for you personally, for those kids?
Manage my own pressure.
That's okay.
I'm not depending money place. But yeah, it is a high pressure situation. I'm not sure whether these kids have been in a high intensity sporting situation before. Maybe some of them have, some of them haven't. It's about maintaining an even keel. Never too high, never too low. You can start off the game bad. You might go 12 points down, 20 points down, but if you don't lose your head and you maintain an even keel, you can claw your way back into the game. Same thing, if you're too high, you start very well, you're too high, you're too hyped. It can turn very quickly once the other team gets on what they're doing. So my job is to keep everybody at an even keel. Never too high, never too low. Focus on the goal, focus on what's at hand. Make sure that when and if we are up, we are doing the things that will not lead to complacency on the field.
Okay, so an even keel, for those of you who don't understand, that's basically like cooking. Not too much salt, not too little salt. So you're about to see what the Chiefs are cooking this weekend. Coach Dabo, same question to you. Some kids you're having, great, talented kids nonetheless, but you have to keep their head in the game. You have to also try to deflect the pressure off themselves and off yourself. How do you manage all that?
It's not easy. I'll say that for sure. It's not an easy task, especially just dealing with kids like that emotions, right? But I try to make sure my players have fun. They don't lose sight of not having fun when they're playing. Right, because I also play flag football and make sure to have fun. Right, for me, you have fun, you enjoy the game, there are chances that you play well and you come out on top. But at the same time, as Coach Farr said, you want to keep their mindset in the middle. Don't let them get too cocky, don't let them put their heads down and feel too low. Because once one person is down, the entire team is down because it's your team sport. Right? I tell my players that we are weak as our weakest player. Right? We can't be We can't be as strong as our strongest player, right? We are as weak as our weakest player, and we try to compensate for each other in the games. Communication is important in the game. If you're seeing something, your players, your other teammates are not seeing, talk to your teammates. Make sure there's communication going around the team, and like I said, have fun with it.
Okay. Coach Sabo, one of your players has decided he's been a key part of the season. You want to grab Mike, young man, want to tell us your name and the position that you play?
Yeah, my name is Abdul Hassan, and I'm playing wide receiver for Yellow Champions.
Okay, wide receiver. Gentlemen, your name and your position as well?
My name is William Tracy. Yeah, it's QB.
Play for his what? Quarterback. Okay. So, gentlemen, ladies, the floor is open again if you have questions for this gentleman.
I just wanted to just bring this to light before we go into questions. There's a lot of people in the background that you might not see up here that actually have helped us with the success of the league. Every coach, every successful coach here has a manager, right, that helps them do the interfacing with the parents, with the players, welfare matters and issues, whatever it is, right? So which allows the coaches to focus on coaching and allows the managers to interface with the players. I have some very wonderful people that are standing in the corner there. I'll start with one of the only 2 female managers in an American football team in Africa. So she's not just there. This is a record-breaking lady here. Her name is Kiki. She is the manager for roller tournaments. And then beside Kiki is Kenny. He is the manager for the championship. Casey, sorry, the championship-bound Chiefs. Casey is the manager there. And then another player and manager for the Niger Lions is Mr. Shogo, very passionate manager as well. And the other lady that we're missing is Tommy Benson. She is the manager for the Tigers flag football team. So we have a lot of beautiful people in the background that helped us get to where we are. So thank you so much for that. Okay. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions?
Hello, good morning. My name is Chile Tudigo. I have more of a comment, not a question, right? I'm a parent to 2 parents. Yeah. Parent to 2 of their players, Duba Debo and Pese Debo. Yes. I want to really thank you guys for the job you're doing with these kids. These are kids I growing up in Canada, okay, that's where we live, but I sent them back to Nigeria to go and have a taste of Africa, a taste of Nigeria. But they ended up having a taste of America, which is the flag football. But I'm very impressed with what you guys are doing. And the first shock I had was when I came, because I sent them back before I came back. So when I came back, and you know how you beat your kids, and I didn't tell them I was coming back. It was a surprise for them. So when they saw me, like, hey, you know, I thought these are still little kids, right? And I hugged them. It felt like I was hugging a pillar. And I was like, what have you guys been doing? I mean, they are athletic. They've been athletic in Canada. They play basketball for their school. But with this flag football, I think is a totally different thing. It's on a whole, new level. Like my kids are not like metal. The way they think is totally different now. Their timing, the way they reason generally. I think they've grown. Honestly, they've grown like in 1 year. Like a 4-year league. So I want to really say thank you to the management, thank you to the coach for what you guys are doing for this game. So I'm speaking on behalf of all the parents because I'm sure this is what everybody feels. I mean, your kid goes out for camping and comes home and it's a different person. So I want to say thank you to you guys, man. Thank you. Keep up the good job. Thank you very much, sir. I'm sure that after having a taste of Canada, your kids are definitely loving Nigeria right now because it tastes good. Mr. Ojekwe, you have a question?
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Ojekwe. I work for Matchroom Sponsored Media and also Super Sports. Without paying for PR, players are already getting a lot based from what both parents have said here. My questions are directed to both players. What were you doing before now? How was it easy for you to get into flag football, and how interesting is flag football? Thank you.
Okay, so before flag football, I was actually a footballer, a soccer player. I mean,
it's football.
I just want to say real quick, young man, you are sitting like that, so it's football. It's American soccer on the ball.
like, oh yeah, that's what I need to do for this. But so I've been in and out of a soccer academy like last year, but I've been playing soccer for like 6 years now, and I'm also in school, in uni. Okay.
Which school?
Girls University in State. So I heard about flag football from a family friend actually. So the day of the draft, I actually didn't want to go because I was like, what's this like? I have no idea about flag football. That was like my first time hearing about flag football. Then after like the pressure from my mom, but thanks to her, she's been a very great and supportive parent. As a Princess Nina Adama. So she talked to us and me and my brother. Then forced our dad to go involved. He took us for the draft day, So far, since the beginning, it's been like 4 months now, and I feel like I have another family. Like my team was so good. Like, it's all been fun. I also try to like, okay, that's my brother.
This is his brother. Younger brother. I got introduced to him. He's just 15 years old.
Yes.
But he's an amazing athlete.
Yes.
You understand? I just wanted to bring him to see.
That's 15 and it's almost as tall as Moses, so you can see it's a family affair.
So it's been really great surrounding this opportunity. I told you I didn't really fancy it, but I love it, and I'm very proud to be part of for the progress of this event. I'd like to continue further, take further to next level. I'm very advocating my team. I'm a great team and coach, so yes. I'm not sure, I don't know if you guys see his page, but we do a lot of training back to back, and it's really great. So flag football is really it's best for this summer. So
Congratulations. I just want to ask you quickly, so whoever like given the opportunity of having a football, a soccer, and a soccer scholarship to the US, or a football scholarship to the US, which one would you pick? Don't laugh.
I'll choose this. I'll choose football.
Okay. So we have a comeback. Hallelujah, somebody. Morning. Just speak up, just let's relax.
I'd love to speak. But when I was in senior school,
just speak up a little. Speak up, man.
When I was in SS1, so they brought this basketball to us in school, saying that we have a competition on Saturday. So they told us on Friday. So now the practice of 2 hours with other states to practice of 2 hours. The coach taught us everything, the rules and regulation. So the next day, Saturday, we went to play match against Grace Spring on one score from the break. So we took second. So the Grace Spring, they won us, but I was like, I'm coming back from them because there's season 2. So I came back. No, I went to Uprise. That was then I have this small training. I have the power now. So it was like last months that I went for the competition. So it was like one of the trumpet player, and 2 of the trumpet player, mine. So we went together. So we won them. So it was like they are cheating. They said we are using drugs. They are machineries. So I was like, that is okay because so on the surprise game that I lost match in a row. So like the first match that I lost, the second one, Coach was like, they were looking like Coach like, is he a coachable coach? I was like, what happened? So I tried my best to probably give to start to my third match. I make sure I do my best. The fourth one. I didn't do what he said I should do. So I want to apologize to him. So next match, I'll show him.
You do your best. So it's really entertaining. I just want to quote one of the parents again. He said he came back, he heard he said they were like pillars. So in case the manager of Canon Pillars is listening, you know, send your pillars uprise for training. Any more questions, anyone? Is anyone? Awesome.
I just want to add something. These two players, the first game of the uprise flag football was Yellow Trumpets versus Chiefs. It was one of the toughest games to play. Right? And if you see these two players then and now, you will not believe what the same set. It improves drastically. And we always do our best as coaches to tell them that, look, the work does not end when we're done with practice or when we're done with play. You guys have to go home and teach yourself things, right? Because we can do so much and tell you, and then people can just go home and just lie down in their bed and wait for the next practice. But I promise you, these two young men, I know for a fact, they go back home, they watch the game tapes, they ask questions, they want to know what to do to make themselves better. This guy came in, he was very rusty, he was doing everything like a soccer player. Doing everything like a soccer player. I told him, look, Samuel, you have to go back and you have to watch American football teams. You have to find ways to, do the moves differently. And he listened. And I can tell you for a fact that he's one of the most improved players. And so Joseph rides with me when I'm going back home, and I hear him talk in the background. I don't think he knows. I hear him, he opens YouTube and is watching videos, watching flag football videos, QB videos on how to be better. And it has paid off for him. He's in the finals, and it's like, it's a dream come true for them, and it's a dream come true for us as well. It's just being the championship game. So I really, as much as we put in the work, I would also like to say that these players do amazing on their own, like learning how to play better in this sport.
Good morning. My name is Edison Patino. I'm a sports editor. People, I've been looking up, since I had the conversation about the sport with Mr. Sport, I've been looking up the numbers and following the page. My first exposure to the sport from a movie, I remember Facing the Giants. So I've had a little bit of interest in watching the so I always have interest in numbers, and I look at numbers for Williams. That's my question for you first. I look at the number for Williams, especially its combination with Axel. Right. The best player back, the most touchdown generated in the league in the last 6 weeks. What kind of mindset do you go into this final, knowing that you have these double threats coming to us? I know you have the second best quarterback in the league, so what kind of mindset, knowing that they are totally different set of team you played the first game of the season, and also for the Chiefs, so coach, 4 games on the road, there can be room for a bit of complexity, knowing that you've been there for that 4 straight times. How are you guiding against that?
Excellent question.
Yes, coach. I will not tell you now. Because obviously, coach will say, I will say one thing as well. What I know now, flag football, I learned from him. We used to play in the same team, was our coach as well. So it's going to be a really tough game. And I told my players, he can attest. I said, one of the toughest games you guys are going to play is the game against Super. And that's how it's been. So going into the finals, right, we've done, watching game footage, looking for our mistakes, not their mistakes, looking for our mistakes that we've made during our games against the Chiefs. And we hope and we pray and we train, to correct those mistakes. Joseph is an amazing quarterback, right? He knows how to read the plays, he knows how to get himself open. As well as Utibe, I can tell you, Utibe is one of the players that I do not understand how he does what he does. But he makes that opening, and then he communicates with him, and he gets himself open. So hopefully, I would say this one here, I would definitely put a body throughout the entire game. But the end result is for us to be able to go on the field and let these kids have a taste of what competition feels like, and also to have fun while they're doing this.
Obviously, going on a 4-game winning streak can form some kind of complacency, and it was a little bit evident in our last game of the season. We had already qualified for the championship game no matter what, so that game was pretty much a dead rubber. But we didn't approach the game correctly. We won, we could have easily lost, and I wasn't happy with the performance at all. As I said, him and the team, they have a very strong connection, and that is good and that is bad as well. You want to have a varied offense, right, so that a team doesn't lock down on your star player and then you have issues adapting. The best teams have multiple forms of attack, and we are going to prepare our team for that. We are not going to be one-dimensional. We have some tricks up our sleeve, and we will take advantage of the fact that we have an elite receiver, but that we have other very, very capable players who are hungry and demand their own attention. Now, I do have a kid, and I have to shout this kid out. His name is Ube. In our first 2 losses of the season, he had very bad games. In the first one, he dropped 4 touchdowns. In the second one, he dropped 2 touchdowns. And his head was down. Every time he dropped a touchdown and we lost the game, his head would be down. And of course, it was upsetting. But what I did for him was that I moved him over to defense, right? Because he was athletic and I felt like he could make more of an impact there. And once he started believing in himself on defense, it started showing up in his offense. So he became better on offense. He scored critical touchdowns in the following 2 games, and then he had 2 rushing touchdowns in the penultimate game. And the last game of the season where we struggled, it was his 2 interceptions on defense that led to 12 points that gave us the win against the Tigers. So we have weapons, we intend to use them, and hopefully, as I said, we'll get the win. Football is a chess game, a strategy. As much as I'm thinking about what I'm going to do against them, I'm also thinking about how they are going to vary up and what I'm going to prevent the possible things that I think that are going to come from their end. They are not a one-dimensional team. They have a very good player in Toby, who is very shifty on the ball. A 6'3" strong guy, Sami, who seems to run this one route that's unstoppable. And of course, for me, the most improved player in the whole league this season is sitting over there, Sam. Very impressive to see this boy from the first day to what he was doing in the last game, both on offense and defense. So he is also a problem. So we have our work cut out for us.
Hello, coaches, hello, players. Sorry, Abel for Mazubian again. I got a couple of questions. First off, how do you manage the egos for your players? Because one thing that I know, football is a bit like basketball. When you finish person, you go brag. You get it right. So how do you manage their egos not to go over the board and stick in their head? It's a championship final coming up. And I know that if your papa, sorry, I was sleeping to pitch. If your papa's the don't say, if you all be picking, be like 3. How are you managing? Pillar. Pardon me, sir, pillar. So for the trumpets and the chiefs, do you have a special diet regimen for them moving into the finals? Because more ever, less rice, that kind of thing. And leaving that aside, I like the Jim Ackman vibe when you give me bros, because as you did, I was laughing it. Are we going to get this broadcasted with the fantastic commentary that always comes along with it? Because I would love to hear bros do its thing on the championship, and where will you broadcast it so that I can catch these guys with their pillar boots. That's all.
Okay, in terms of the diet, they're young men, so they can eat whatever. They don't really they burn it like this. Whatever. I'm not for me. What's more important is that they are fit in terms of energy and injuries. Thankfully, most of our players have been able to stay injury-free for most of the season, and I mean. They're well fed. None of them look like that. So okay, one is just a skinny kid, but all of them look like they're well fed at home. So shout out to their parents for keeping them on that way. In terms of ego, in any sports, you have to have a little bit of ego because you have to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, then you're not any good playing sports. You can't believe you're better than the next person. When I play football. Like see me like this, so I'll tell everybody I have the best hands. And you might believe me or not believe me, but when you come on the field, you see it. Not for it. So I always tell them to believe in yourself because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody will. But then that small temperament in that don't get too bad. And then I said you gotta give them where you have to respect your opponent. The minute you don't respect your opponent and you think you're too good, you will complain.
Yeah. Bimo, you want to expand more about the broadcast possibilities?
Oh, yes. So over the course of the season, obviously, there's been a lot of good support since we still mentioned the support, how we are here today. A lot of all our highlights, you can catch it on Super Sports Blitz. They run it like
clockwork.
At clockwork. I was thinking about something with corn or beans, but I don't know. But they run it every week and it's there for everyone to catch it. So please, if you're still interested in seeing some of the highlights you've seen here, Sports Blitz runs our highlights all week. Then our games are then live streamed on our YouTube channel, which is the Uprise Flag Football League on YouTube. So as soon as the games kick off, the fanfare, the excitement, the shouting, the trumpets, fans with the trumpets and all that other craziness that comes with football, catch it live on our YouTube channel, the Uprise Flag Football League.
Okay, so don't forget, you can also be at the final. It's at the Lagos Preparatory School. That's on Glover Road in Ikoyi. Also, like you said, the games will be streamed live. We have great plans for that final live studio, excellent commentary as well. And of course, the great action that will be seen as well. Any more questions? No. So yeah, so it's free. It's free. Yeah, it's free. It's free. Absolutely free.
It's free. You just have to walk in and enjoy it.
Yeah. Thank you, Coach People. Just wondering how can you have a little support at the finals, and I'm thinking I'm just looking here, see a lot of bottled water here, and I want to supply all the water you're going to have to find. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. That support all the way from Canada. So, on the screen again is where the final will be taking place. That's the Lagos Preparatory School. That's 36 to 40 Glover Road in Ikoyi, Lagos. 6th of August. That's this Sunday. Time is 2 p.m. So, thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the press, and of course, wonderful parents. It's been wonderful having you guys. It's been brilliant. And of course, we have your email addresses, so if you have more information that we want to pass across to you before the final, you will be getting them in due course. Thank you once again for coming out to what's been a very entertaining event. And we hope to see you at the final. Thank you very much.
If you want to meet the visionary man behind all of this, he will be at the final.
Yes.
So if you have questions, want to pick his brain, he's going to be there in person to take all of that as well.
Yeah, there's going to be an opportunity for one-on-one with Coach Mayara. So even with the coaches as well, the players as well. So bring the cameras, bring your recording devices. You can have excellent content for your different platforms. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Oh yeah, by the way, it's early in the morning. Is that item 7? Okay, item 7 for the morning is served as well. So thank you guys. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you.